Hi, Lindsay. So let me show you how Tinkercad works. So you'll just open up a web browser and go to tinkercad.com. And I'm going to click sign in right now because I already have made an account, but you can click join now, totally free. And you can just join with like your email and you make up your own password. It's really easy to start your own account. So I will sign in here. And this is what the home screen looks like right here. So what you can do here on this workspace is design that 3D protein scaffold for the organ. And then what you're eventually going to do is send me a link to your design so I can examine what you've done. So here are a few things that I've done in the past. You're going to click create new design in just a second here, but let me just show you my finished product of something I made a long time ago. So I put a whole bunch of shapes together and I overlap them to make a print, whoops, get that back, to make a printout of a human ear. So you can see that is just the result of me compiling a bunch of shapes together, kind of trying to imagine it in three-dimensional space to replicate a human ear as best I can. And I'm just holding my finger down on the screen right now and moving that around. That's how I get different views and different angles and everything. Let's go back to a different example here. I'm going to click this colorful 9 boxes in the top left to get back to the home screen. And there's a lot of data on that ear, so that's why it's taken a little bit of a long time here. I can click this other one, tinker this, and here's the second design I made, and it's just rendering a bit. Give it a second to think. Okay, and this was me trying to replicate where our breathing tube, our trachea, splits into the left and right lungs. So you can see I hollowed it out. You can actually see all the way through it there. So it really is a functional, completely hollow bronchial tree or bronchial tube that splits there. And that was, again, just me putting shapes into this workspace and putting them together and adjusting the sizes and locations so that I can create something in 3 dimensions. Okay, I'm going to click that colorful 9 boxes and go back to my home screen. And now I'll kind of just give you a quick rundown of what the actual construction process looks. So you're going to click Create New Design. And when you do that, it's going to take you to this empty workspace. And in this workspace, you can bring in any of these shapes on the right. And if you see a bunch of these, you can do a lot of different things with these shapes. But you can also go to all shapes, and there's a whole bunch of weird other ones that you can use as well. So you're not limited to just those basic circle, square, triangle, the silly ones. There's a lot more interesting shapes if you scroll through when you put when you select all on this drop down one. Just for now, I'm going to go to basic shapes so I can show you some simple stuff here. Let's say I want to put a box right there, and I'm going to just 2-finger pinch to zoom in, and I can see this in any angle. So if I want to adjust the size of this box, first of all, I can click away from it or click on it to select it, and I can click and drag. See how that red box on the bottom, that red square is highlighting? My finger's right there, and I'm able to adjust the size of this box any way I want to. I can also adjust the height by clicking this top one here. I can make it a shorter or a taller box. I can even lift it up off of the floor, we'll call it, by clicking that triangle on the top there. And I can bring it up, so now it's 15 units of height above the plane. I'll put it down to 10 or 9, and then see how it's actually floating above there. So that was me, again, clicking this triangle at the top, and then I can bring it back down to the surface. I can even go below the surface. So see, now I'm down there. Okay. Bring it back to the original height. Now let's say I want to maybe hollow something out of this box. What I can do is I can bring another shape over there, and let's say I want to put this right about there. Okay, and I'm gonna do this so that the sphere is just perfectly overlapping with the cube that I already have in place, okay? And I want this to match the height of the cube. So I'm gonna just, I'm gonna make this a little bit taller so it matches the height of the cube. Okay, that's close enough. And let's say I want that box, that cube, to be hollowed out where I have the sphere. I can highlight the sphere, and where it says shape in the top right corner of our workspace, instead of hitting this blue solid one, I can actually click on it and make it an empty hole. So that is actually now negative space. So it's like hollowing out that, that cube. And to make this really like one cohesive piece, I can double tap and select both of them together, and then I can hit this button. See where it says shapes in the upper right hand corner of your workspace? Right above it there's a light bulb, and then one thing next to that there's like a square and a circle that seem to be paired together. I can click that, and that makes them one cohesive piece. So now see how my cube has been hollowed out? So that sphere was turned into a hole, not an actual solid shape, but a hole. So that's how I can really extensively modify the shapes and turn them into something more interesting. So your job is to basically go through these shapes and figure out how you can put different shapes together to design a protein scaffold for a human organ of your choice. You saw that I did the bronchial tree. You saw that I did the human ear. I've had students submit like a human rib cage or a jawbone or lungs or a heart. If you do something simple like one lung or maybe like a kidney. Now there's a shape on here that's just a kidney bean, so I don't want you to just draw a kidney bean on there and be done, right? That's a little too simple. So I would, if you do a simple organ like a kidney, I would ask that you show the organ hollowed out so that I can see inside of it, and then show me what the inside would look like as well. So for that, if I want to show like the inside of this organ that I have, perhaps I can just drag another box on there. I'll make it a little bit bigger, and what I'm going to do here is bring it up a little bit and drag it over my other one. Make sure it covers all the space here. Okay, so now it's completely overlapped with like the top half of that hollowed out cube that we made before, and now I can just turn that into a hole, highlight everything together, group them, and now see I've like sliced the top half off. So that's how you could go about like slicing the top half off and showing me the inside of the organ. If you're going to do something simple like a kidney or a lung, perhaps you want to show me the inside so you get a little bit more creative with it. Okay, but that's it. Please email me if you have any questions, and thanks for reaching out. Okay, see you later.